If you want to make a drink from the garden, but you think juice needs more fiber and smoothies are too sweet, then you're going to love my garden smuice. A garden smuice is a drink made from the garden, but it's got the fiber that you're missing in a juice, and it's got a lot less sugar than you get in a smoothie. So I just did a huge harvest from my kitchen garden. I'm going to grab a few things from here to turn it into a smuice, and hopefully inspire you to start drinking your own smuice too. So let's get started. Now, keep in mind, this is a winter harvest that I just grabbed from the garden, but it's definitely representative of things that you can harvest from the garden almost year round. So this is a drink that you can have in spring, in summer, and in fall. And depending on your climate, you could even have it in winter, which is what I'm doing. So first up, we got Toscano kale. Any kind of kale, a dark green, leafy green is great for the smuice. You could go with spinach if you prefer spinach over kale. I love kale because kale, yeah, you know? So we've got some Toscano kale. Here's some blue Scotch curl kale. Also love this one. So you could throw this one in there as well. And again, these grow almost year round in the garden, definitely spring to fall, depending on where you're gardening. So we got our kale, that's first. We're gonna put this into the salad strainer. I'll show you why in just a sec. Next up, we're gonna do some celery. So this is cutting celery. I've been growing this for almost all year. I started this from seed at the very start of the year. And look at it now. I mean, we've had frost, we've had so much cold outside, and it is thriving, and it smells so fresh and delicious. So now I've got my celery. This is gonna go into the smuice as well, okay? So we've got some kale, we've got some celery. I'm gonna peek through here, and somewhere I've also got some parsley. That's what we wanted. So I'm going to also add some parsley to the smuice. This is in the same plant family as the celery. You can almost tell from the shape of it. Full of nutrition, so good for you, so good for the smuice. So this is gonna go in here as well. All right, so this is what we picked. I actually picked a lot more, but these are the things we're gonna put in the smuice. Celery, parsley, and kale, 2 kinds of kale. You could substitute for a spinach or a dark leafy green that you love. And now we're gonna get busy making the smuice, okay? So let me move this harvest basket out of the way so that I can start cutting. So I prefer to cut my greens before I rinse them. I found that I end up with a much better clean and rinse of the greens when I do it that way. So I've got my nice big cutting board. I'm gonna pull out my greens here, and I'm just gonna do a lot of cutting. Now I'm gonna be putting these into the blender for the smuice, but I like to go ahead and get them going so that I can get them to a nice texture in the blender. I don't like my smuice ingredients, excuse me. I don't like it too chunky. You know, I wanna be able to like drink it and not choke. So I should have a bigger knife for this. I'm gonna do it with just a steak knife, but I'm just going to cut really small cuts. I put them kind of all in a line, and I'm just cutting right along, cutting, I would say, every ½ inch or so. And you can kind of roll the greens together. You're gonna smell so many good smells when you do this. So delicious, so nutritious. Look at all these green, oh my goodness. This is a gift you can give to yourself. When I used to struggle with my weight, with food addiction, there was a message I got from one of my heroes, and she said, start every day and ask yourself, what's one really good thing you can do for your body? Just that. Only answer that question. You don't have to worry about anything else. What's one really good thing you can do for your body? Well, here is an answer that I came up with. A smuice, okay? So we've got kale here, we've got parsley here, we've got celery here. I mean, does this already look so delicious? You could stop right here and just make yourself a salad. But let's be honest, it's gonna take a while to eat this salad. So I'm gonna turn it into a smuice. Salad will be for lunch. Smuice is for breakfast, okay? So we take the straining part of the salad spinner, and I'm going to put this right in here like this. Let me do it again. So I take this and put it right in here like this. And then we're just gonna stick this down into the salad spinner. I've already added some water. And we're gonna slide it right down into the spinner. Give everything a really nice swoosh, okay? Swoosh it around really good. Get any kind of dirt off of it. This is winter, so there's really very little pests or dirt or anything happening in the garden. It's just these greens hanging out. So you can add a little bit more water if you need to. And then you're well on your way to making your smoothie. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I'm doing this more thoroughly for the video than I would in real life, okay? I don't really rinse my greens that much, but I didn't want you to think I was like, you know, not clean or something. So you're gonna toss this water and then give your greens a spin. All right, so now you're gonna put this into the salad spinner and we're just gonna spin. You don't really need to dry these greens off because they're just about to get wet because you're gonna make a smoothie, okay? So you can just spin them a little bit to get whatever, you know, dirt or something might be on there. You can see how the water hits the sides. Give it a stop and you are done with the cleaning part. Like I said, in the mornings when I'm making a smoothie, this would be pretty extra to go to all this trouble to rinse my greens. I mostly just give them a quick rinse, pat them off and move them into the blender. All right, now we're moving to the smoothie part. Are you ready? All right, so now it's time to make the smoothie. It couldn't be simpler. Well, maybe a little simpler, but not much. So we are going to take our greens from the garden and they're gonna go straight into the blender. So I put all of them in. So if I'm not going to drink this all, somebody else will. But in general, I make this for myself and then I just keep drinking it during the day, or you know, I invite my kids, my husband, somebody to have a little taste too because it's that good. All right, so we empty the greens. Next up, we're going to fill this with water. So I generally am looking to hit about the same mark with the water as the greens do, especially because you're making a smoothie, not a smoothie. So that would be too much water for a smoothie, but not quite enough for a smoothie. We're gonna fill this all the way up. Molly's gonna help me grab a little bit more water. So why the smuice? Well, smuice is the word smoothie and juice combined, S-M-U-I-C-E. I don't think it's a word in the English language yet, but I'm pretty sure after this video, it's gonna be. So I've been drinking garden smoothies for years, and I started to realize I was taking in a lot of fruit. I didn't put any extra sugar in my smoothie, but I was having a little bit too much fruit in my intake of those drinks. And so I was looking for a way to still, thank you, Molly. You're welcome. I was looking for a way to still get the greens from my garden through a drink, because that's just when I'm busy on the go in the mornings, I need something I can drink quickly. I was looking to still get the greens from my garden and get them in a drinkable format without all the sugar. But juices to me were just too much of a mess. I was throwing away way too much of the vegetable. I would make a juice and then feel like, oh my goodness, why am I sticking all this in the compost bin when I should have eaten it? You know what I mean? Or drinking it or drank it, whatever. Drinking is not a word. When I should have drank it instead of put it in the compost. Juicing is messy and it just felt like a waste to me. Plus, I lost all that fiber in my body. If anybody's body needs the fiber, mine does. So enter the smuice. It's got more fiber than a juice and it's got a lot less sugar than a smoothie. So we're gonna fill this up all the way so that the water basically covers the greens. That's when you know you've got enough liquid to counterbalance all the veggies. So if you put this many greens, put that much water and just scale it as it goes. Now we're gonna add a little bit of fruit and juice to it. So I just have frozen bananas. I freeze these whenever they start to soften or go ripe in the kitchen. I just peel them, stick them in a Ziploc bag. I have about, I don't know, 15 over there. So you can put as many or as few as you want. You can use any frozen fruit that you want. The goal here is to not use too much because remember, we're trying to cut down on the sugar. So for this much, I would probably use 2 bananas, but for my normal intake, which is about half this, I would just use 1. Then there's lots of options. You can add some ginger, you can add some lemon, you can add really any other, juice or flavor or addition you want. I'm gonna put in a little bit of lemon juice, and then this is ready to go. All right, so I'm just gonna give this a little cut right down the center and just squeeze it in here. I do love adding ginger to my smoothies, but I'm trying to keep it simple for you. So I love the lemon. It adds a little bit of zing to it and, makes the flavor a little bit different than just being kale. All right, so we got our lemon juice, we got our water, we got our banana, and now it's time to blend. So I have a Vitamix. You can probably do this with any kind of high-speed blender. The goal is you need the blades on the blender to be strong enough to get this down to a very fine green. Otherwise, you're gonna feel like you're kind of choking on the greens. So I start this at a low level, and we just watch it do its magic. All right, so it took a while to blend all this because I had so much water in here, but basically the trick is to keep blending until you stop seeing the chunks. When the chunks disappear, then you know you're good to go. So I filled my glass with ice. With the frozen fruit, typically it is gonna be cold on its own, but I just add a little bit of ice to, make it nice. And this is ready to serve. You actually want to drink it pretty quickly after blending because it's gonna separate, right? Because this has got some solid and some liquid in here. So we're just going to fill her up. Look at that amazing green smoothie. So in here we've got kale, celery, parsley, banana, and lemon, but it's primarily greens and water. So when you drink this, you're gonna get so many nutrients, so much vitamin C, so many good things for your body with the fiber included and much less sugar. So you can see here I've got enough to, feed myself, feed my kids, feed my husband. My dogs could have some if they wanted. Pretty much the whole neighborhood could have a little drink of my smuice. I'm pretty excited about this little invention because it means that I can drink from the garden every single day, get the fiber I need, and avoid the sugar that I don't want. So I hope you're gonna take on the challenge of having a smuice. It's gonna taste, healthy, you know what I mean? But it's going to make you feel healthy too. It's gonna be so good for your body and it's gonna fuel you for the day that you have ahead. Remember what I learned, do one good thing for your body every day. This could be it, a garden smuice. Do you have a garden yet? Do you have kale and celery and parsley? If not, I want to show you how. My book, Leaves, Roots, and Fruit, is going to give you the details on how to grow all the plants. My other book, Kitchen Garden Revival, shows you how to set up your garden. And our new Gardenary calendar is going to show you what to plant every part of the year, no matter where you live. The Gardenary calendar is available at gardenary.com/calendar. You're going to put in 2 dates that you know yourself, and then we'll tell you all the rest. We're going to show you when to plant each and everything in your own garden, wherever you are gardening. The resource is completely free and you can get it at gardenary.com/calendar. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to take a little sip of my green garden smuice. Oh yeah, that's super healthy, super green, super good for you. I know you're going to absolutely love it. Cheers to your health, to doing good stuff for yourself all year long.